Mheshimiwa, my question. There is an ideology that was brought the other day by right on and people went ahead to suggest, come the year 2027, we should abandon using voters card to vote to using ID cards, because that is what identifies us as the citizens of the republic. I would love to hear your regards towards that matter of Raila Odinga.
For your information, if you go to the archives of the state, I already have a legislative proposal to repeal the Elections Act so that Kenyans can be allowed to vote using their identity card. Today, if you want to identify yourself as, if you appear before anybody or any organization that want to confirm whether you are Kenyan or not, they will not ask you to produce a voter's card. They will ask you to produce a national ID card. For you to get a voter's card, you must produce a national ID card. A national ID card is a requirement on whether one qualifies to be a voter or not. If the national ID card is the principal document that confirms that an individual is a Kenyan, then why should we not use it to vote? In my amendments to the Elections Act, I want to change the definition of a voter's card and then replace it with the national ID card. I want also to change the mandate of IEBC from voter registration and expand the definition of voter registration to include a process where they will liaise with the registrar of births and deaths to get the database of people who are registered as Kenyans, clean it out, and migrate the same to their voters database. There must be a link between the registrar of persons and the system of IEBC in terms of today. If a young man acquires a national ID card, those details are automatically migrated to the IEBC database. And then there were questions about when you are voting for a presidential candidate, you can vote from any constituency in Kenya. That is what part of my amendment also says. That when you are voting for president, you can vote from anywhere. And that because we want to migrate the database of from the register of births and deaths to the voters, then we are simply saying that IEBC will provide an opportunity for those Kenyans to update the areas where they prefer to vote from. If it's cumulative, then they will give you an opportunity to make that decision on whether you want to vote from community constituency or where. In the absence of that confirmation, then IEBC will assume that we want to vote from your place of birth as provided for when you are applying to get your ID cards. Of course, when you apply to get your ID cards, you say where you are born location, sub-county, and county. And you also want to make it clear that contrary to what has been happening before, the reason why many Kenyans don't turn out to vote for the president is because at the point of going to cast their vote, maybe they have not traveled. If they register to vote from community constituency, for example, and maybe they don't have transport. They are working in Mombasa, don't have transport to travel from Mombasa to come and vote from Kilili. We want to change the law and vote from any polling station. You can vote from any constituency within that county. When we are voting for a president, you can vote from any part of the country because the president represents everybody living in Kenya. And anybody living in Kenya, you have a right to decide who your president would be. So, for example, if you registered as a voter in Kimilili constituency and you are in Mandera, then you should be allowed to vote for the president, participate in presidential elections, because the president serves all Kenyans. And if you registered as a voter in Kimilili constituency, you should be allowed to vote for a governor from Bungoma from anywhere, whether when you are in Bumula or anywhere, because the governor of Bungoma and the senator and the women rep will come to serve everybody living within the territory. There are arrangements of the opposition. You've seen some poor people line up, where some are earmarked for Speaker of National Assembly, others Speaker of the Senate, others Prime Cabinet Secretary, others want to be ministers. You know, when that time comes, we will negotiate. We will reassemble. We will raid the opposition camp, break it. We can even break it in 5 different pieces. Renegotiate with them. Find out which position they can play. Look at their experience and expertise. You, this Fred Matiang'i, the way he is, the way he's combative, how can we benefit from his intelligence, his wisdom? Where can he play? Some want to be Attorney General. You get the point. So we will reassemble the team, and I want Kenyans to relax. When we are saying William Ruto 2-term, we are not stupid. We are not speaking from a point of ignorance. We are speaking to the fact that it's not yet time to assemble a campaign machinery, and that when that time comes, we will raid the opposition camp, split it in 8 different pieces. We'll negotiate with individually any one of them, renegotiate and form a formidable team, and move forward so that our 2-term becomes a reality.
When is most likely going to be your manifesto? The manifesto launch, I mean.
My manifesto launch will be at the time where I'll be sure that no one can implement my manifesto, because we have an active government as we speak today in Bungoma, led by Ken Lusaka. And like I said, that 50% of my manifesto doesn't have any monetary investment. It's only by way of policy direction. If I bring them out now, the players, the policy makers in the government of Bungoma can change them and they implement them, and they will be no longer lucrative to talk about.